Okay, who else is glad that November is over? A show of hands out there. Oh my gosh. I am so glad November is over. I just want to jump for joy. And that is so unusual for me because I will be the last person to ever wish time to go by quicker. I mean, the older you get, the faster time just goes by. I mean, it just accelerates the older you get. So after a while, it just becomes one big continuous blur. And, you know, you don't want it to go by any faster so you can appreciate life. But oh my gosh, I'm so glad November's over. I just can't tell you how glad I am. Yes, I crossed that 50,000 word line. Yes, I'm happy about that. My 5th time playing, my 5th time winning. It's a good feeling, but it's a bittersweet victory. This was one tough NaNoWriMo for me. It all began wonderfully. I made the commitment of trying to write short stories, and I did. I stuck to that all month long. And I started out with a bang. I wrote 6 stories right off the bat. So I just, I charged out of the starting gate, and my enthusiasm was hot, and I made a video about it. You can watch it. And then the very next day after that video, I just ran out of steam. I just got burned out. I guess I just burned too brightly off the bat, and I lost my enthusiasm. Even though short stories really work well for me, and I really think I'm in my element when I write short stories, I will probably never write short stories for NaNoWriMo again. Here's my deal. I would write a story and then mentally I would tell myself I'm done. Yay! I'm done with the project. No, I'm not done with the project. I still have such and such words to go. So I'd have to start over again. And in essence, the whole month was a stop and go kind of process. I'd get going, then I'd stop, and I'd get going, then I'd stop. And oh man, for this particular challenge, I'm not sure I recommend that because that was a hard pace to maintain because I would stop and then not want to get started again. Or I would get going and then I'd think, okay, well, I need to end this short story, and I would stop. It was very frustrating for me. Very, 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 very frustrating for me. So I don't think I'll be doing that again. I think I'll be sticking with the novel format in the futures. So that's really what I learned about myself as far as this challenge. I love to write short stories, but trying to write short stories in a certain time frame with a certain word count really stifled me. I think part of my problem was, since I felt like it was finished, I was done with that project, I went back and I edited it. And I reread it and, changed a few things here and there. So I really think that slowed me down, and it started giving me doubts about what I was writing. Even though I used minor characters from the stories, and the next story used that minor character as the major character, I think that really helped to keep the momentum going as far as the short story string. But again, I would finish it, then go back and edit it before I posted it on my fiction blog. And I really think that just broke the momentum for me. So, won't be doing that again, I think. I won't say never, because you never know, but I think in the future, for this particular challenge, I'm going to stick with novels. Because at least with a novel, it's never ending. There's always something else on the horizon. And whereas a short story for me just ended, and I had to start over again from scratch. Different idea, different situation, different character, and it tripped me up. And I can quite honestly say this is the first NaNoWriMo that I really did not enjoy. I looked at it as a chore, and I don't want to do that because I love NaNoWriMo. I love the challenge that it presents, and it was definitely a challenge this go around. I just learned that it's not my particular challenge. So, won't be doing that again. And then to top things off, November 28th, I just finished my story, just posted it to my fiction blog. Then I had this funky little window pop up. and my heart just sunk to my feet. I knew what that meant. It was a virus. What happened was, and be careful if you do this, I typed in Flickr. That's where I have all of my photos hosted, but I misspelled it. I won't tell you what I typed because you might be tempted to put it in yourself, and I would die if you guys went there and got a virus yourself. But needless to say, I mistyped it, and it took me to a porn site. And I knew from that point on, oh no, I'm going to get a virus. I got a virus. And it was a vicious sucker. It shut down my CD-ROM. So I couldn't make backups of my iTunes. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get all of my music back into iTunes. And if you guys have any tips, oh, I'm all ears. But needless to say, that's not something you want to happen to you 2 days before NaNoWriMo is scheduled to end and you still have like 7,000 words to write. So cranky, I spent that entire day reformatting my laptop and getting everything back to what, to where I wanted it. So that was also something that kind of tripped me up and made NaNoWriMo this year not exactly enjoyable. But not discouraged. I will absolutely do it again next year, and I will absolutely write a novel, and you guys will absolutely hear about it, whether you want to or not. Anyway, that's my bittersweet victory for NaNoWriMo 2009.